So when I tell you this is easy, I'm really not kidding. It's 4 ingredients. And one of them is yeast, of course. And you're gonna need 1 packet of instant dry yeast, or 2 teaspoons. That's how much is in this packet. 4 cups of all-purpose flour. You could also use bread flour, but I find the all-purpose works just fine. 2 cups of lukewarm water. And finally, 2 teaspoons of regular table salt. And those are all the ingredients we're gonna need to make our focaccia bread. Now you're probably wondering if I'm missing an ingredient, which is sugar or honey, because usually when you make a bread and you need to activate the yeast with some kind of sweetener. Well, in this case, we don't, because we are proofing our dough in the refrigerator for at least 18 hours up to 3 days. You do not need any sugar to help the yeast get along. So no sugar added. All right, now I'm gonna show you the next step. Hang on. Now next, we're just gonna take a large bowl, add in our flour, just dump it in there. Dump in our yeast, our water, and our salts. So far, easy, right? Now, if you can just stir it with a wooden spoon, you can do this. Now, the great thing about this is there is absolutely no kneading involved. You are just mixing the dough until it comes together into a ball, and I will be right back when that's done. All right, so I have it all mixed, and it's going to be a sticky dough. It's not gonna be a real firm dough, and that's exactly what we want. Now, don't worry about getting every little speck of flour on the side. That's totally fine. Now, I'm gonna show you what to do with this. Now, for the next step, you're gonna take a large glass or plastic container, put a tablespoon of olive oil onto the bottom so the dough doesn't stick. And then we're gonna add another tablespoon over the top. And that way, we don't have any, and rub it in, because we don't want any crust to form on top of the dough. Just like that. And then you just put the lid on top, and we're gonna stick it in the refrigerator for a minimum of 18 hours up to 3 days. So I had another one in the refrigerator that's been in there 24 hours. And as you can see, it's risen up quite a bit. So let's take off the lid. Okay, and then you are just going to smash it down just to get the excess air out. And I'll show you the next step. Now, what I did next was take a 9x13 pan, you can use metal or glass, and I generously coated the bottom with some extra virgin olive oil, probably about 1.5 tablespoons, and make sure you get the sides as well. And then all we're going to do is put in our dough. Now, a tiny bit of it did stick, but most of it came right out. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to just evenly put it onto the bottom. So I'll show you that, I'll be right back. So I have it spread all evenly onto the bottom of the pan, and now we're gonna let this sit at room temperature for 45 minutes. So I'll be back. And now if you live in a sweltering place like we do in California, I just leave my dough out on the ledge outside because it is currently about 100 degrees out here. No, maybe 97. So that's gonna help the dough rise. And it's because it's only about 75 in the house and it'll take longer, okay?
So our dough is doubled in size. And now I'm gonna use some coarse salt. You could also use truffle salt, some dried oregano, or chopped fresh rosemary, which I got from my garden. Now I'm just gonna push the dough with my fingers to make a lot of little dimples. And then I'm gonna drizzle 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil on top. And then I went ahead and placed my chopped rosemary and I lightly sprinkled it with the coarse sea salt, but don't add too much. Now you're gonna bake this at 400 for 25 minutes. Okay, we have about 5 more minutes till it's done, and I wish you could smell it in here. It is amazing. It smells like a bakery. I wish YouTube had smell-o-vision, don't you? Or taste-o-vision, that'd even be better. But I just wanted to tell you, when you serve your focaccia, it's always best to serve it warm. And I like to dip it in a combination of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. That's like the traditional way. But honestly, you don't need anything. Of course, you could use butter, but it's got so much olive oil on it already, you really don't even need anything else. Okay, come back in a minute. It was so hard to wait the 5 minutes. I can't even tell you. But look at this, you guys. Look at how fluffy and delicious that looks. Look at the top, and now look at the sides. All that olive oil, it makes it nice and crispy. Of course, I have to give it a try. Here I go. I want to take a big bite, but you guys know I don't like to do that. You are gonna love this. Trust me. Please try it. You saw how completely easy it was. And it's chewy and crispy all at the same time. You taste that rosemary and the salt. And you could even add like some little cherry tomatoes on top when you bake it, or some Parmesan cheese, but honestly, you don't need it. So I hope you guys are gonna give this a try. I know you're gonna love it. Don't forget to hit that like button, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye, everybody.